What's going on? What's going on? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Yes, yes, yes. You know what I mean? Happy Wednesday. It is February 1st. That makes the celebration of Black History Month the first day of Black History Month. But you know how we do. We celebrate Black history all year round, especially, giving out flowers to those who we love, our ancestors, and those are still currently here. Um, I'm excited today, you know what I mean? I'm excited, not just because it marks the first day of Black History, but February for me has always been a magical month, you know what I mean? Um, I'm just, really looking forward to the opportunities that can come forth, and I'm expecting, unexpected blessings, and would love for you guys to expect those things to come into your life as well. Um, I'm looking at my journal here, you know what I'm saying? And it's several pages that, I just have random logins. But recently I looked at this video and, I'm always looking at stuff to, elevate my game or just kind of like add to what I'm already doing. And it was from, the legendary, the legend, the living legend, Steve Harvey. One of the things Joe said was, write down 300 things that you want. He said, by the time you get to 75, right, your brain gonna conk out, but just keep writing the things that you want. You know what I mean? Write the vision and make it plain. Um, and that inspired me. I said, you know what, why not? So about a few days ago, I did just that. Now, I didn't write all 300 down, but I'm working on that. You know what I mean? Because by the time I did get to 75, I did conk out. But these are several um, things that I wrote down that I want. I'm all the way up to 175. I still got a couple more that I got to write down. But just observing this every morning, you get what I'm saying? It just kind of like puts into perspective, you know what I mean, how you want to start your day, what you expect the day to bring. You get what I'm saying? So I'm just really looking forward to just activating that, adding this a part of my daily routine, being over there, I'll be up, all night. My schedule kind of like fluctuates. By the time I wake up to, missed calls and texts, everybody be in bed, you know what I'm saying? So I be like, dang. So, but needless to say, that's still no excuse. I feel like I want to activate some of these things. And, I always say it's power in writing. You get what I'm saying? I've written a few things down that came to light the previous session that I talked about the art of manifestation. And I feel there's so much things that just falls into alignment with manifesting things. I mean, I even did it yesterday. You know what I mean? It's wild. I was thinking about a friend and I went to a store and the same person was inside the store. But it goes a little deeper than that. Even individuals that see something in you that you don't see. I remember in 2000, what was it, 7 and 8, I was filming Say Streets East. It was the first and only headquarters at that time that started in East Baltimore. And I would walk around and I would canvass the neighborhood with Tater Barksdale, Leon Farouk, um, Todd Carter, a lot of unsung heroes that, came from those communities who did some time, but they came out from doing their time and they wanted to, engage the community and actually show them that, it's a better way with handling conflict and they would mediate beefs. Tater Barksdale, rest in peace. He was one of my good friends, Dante Barksdale. His uncle was Nathan Avon Bodie Barksdale. The Wire had splitted his name into two, but it was he didn't like to be called Avon, so he would just like to say Nathan Bodie Barksdale. But Uncle Bodie is what you will call him, right? But anyway, I remember documenting Safe Streets in 2000, starting in 2007, I want to say, and I accumulated a lot of footage, and I put this footage together, and I was attempting to put some of the clips on YouTube, and I shared with my past acquaintance, a girl who I was dating at the time. I shared with her the video, And I remember, I don't like when people look at my videos, I like to kind of like let them see it for their own. I don't like to sit with them. I like for them to actually experience it on their own. So I left the room and I came back and she was crying, you know. I mean, tears were streaming down her eyes. I was like, what's wrong? And she randomly said, Keo, like, I just don't see you actually meeting Spike Lee one day. I see you actually working with him. And I was like, why would you say something like that? I'm saying that to myself because at the time it was a high 8 camera, and the playback of this video, you could hear the rolling of the tape. And I'm like, yo, why would you were like, what made you say something like that? Again, like I said, I didn't ask her that, but I was just like, oh, okay, because, you know, it was a vulnerable moment. She was crying. I didn't want to ruin a moment with, you know, questioning her, but I just received what she said. But ironically enough, that stuck to the in the back of my head because that's why I'm sharing the story with you today. And was that 2014? Not only did I meet Spike Lee on my birthday on June 28th of 2014, I went to New York. I drove to New York, you know, got a zip car and drove out there to the what is it, the anniversary of the Do the Right Thing. And I met him, and at that time I was already filming this documentary with my friend Felicia, and I tried to share with him in a brief moment that you know we've been getting this footage together, and that was in June, and then 4 months after June in September, Snoop had told me, Felicia Pearson, Snoop told me like, hey, look, Keo, I want you to interview Spike Lee because he had put me into his new film, which was called The Sweet Blood of Jesus. It was a remake of Ghana and Hess, where people were sucking blood. It was like vampires, right? And she's like, I want you to interview Spike because he had me walking in heels in this film. So I said, okay, cool. So then came September 10th of 2014, literally like 3 or 4 months after I seen him, and I'm inside of his headquarters in Brooklyn, filming and interviewing Spike Lee. But look at that. Look at what somebody had already seen in me and was like, yo, I don't see you actually meeting Spike Lee one day. I see you actually working with him. And like I said, I didn't have the best camera. I don't even know what made her say that, but by her saying that, that impressed my subconscious mind. That left an impression on my mind, and it kind of matriculated into reality. It manifested into something that I walked straight into, not even knowing, right? So, so many stories like that, to name a few, but it mainly I pretty much feel like that power is in everybody. I'm not anybody in any special, but it's like everybody has like we can speak. I know you heard it before. We could speak life or we could speak death. Life and death is in the power of the tongue, right? So if you don't have nothing to say, don't say nothing at all. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. But you can speak life to things. Stay away from people who speak in death. Stay away from people who always want to share negativity, and that's all they talk about because as they're in this cycle, they're in this Ferris wheel of toxicity, and if you're not careful, you can the 5 people you hang around, you can become negative too by just the conversation. So guard your mind, guard your heart, guard your energy because you need all the energy for your loved ones. You need all your energy to pour back into others. You know what I mean? You need all your energy to pour into yourself. If you don't have any energy to pour into yourself, then you could be depleted. I'm sure you've seen that video where it was like a while ago. It was like a animation where the person was walking and all these individuals was putting their hands on the individual and they kept getting blacker and blacker and blacker, and by the time they got home they was all sluggish and moving slow, and they seen their dog, and then they had passed on whatever that they was carrying on throughout the day to the dog, and the dog carried it, but for whatever reason it evaporated for the dog because the dog had exuberated joy, and the person was whole again. But that animation, I remember it. I don't know how you can Google something like that because that was like a meme. Yes, it's crazy, right? If you wanted to Google a meme, how can you Google a meme? You know what I mean? Like, there's so many memes out there, but that video stood out. But that's a good example. But again, takeaways from this video, make sure you try to write down 300 things that you want. And believe it or not, that might seem easy, but it's very challenging, right? Because like I said, I'm at to 175, but write down 300 things that you want, right? And look at that list. Look at that list on a day to day. And what you focus on expands, right? So it's funny enough, even when I wrote down 175, already three things that came to light. And I literally just already, so it's power in the tongue and it's power with the intentions of writing it down, being intentional, right? So I leave y'all with that. That concludes this morning session. I see Bobby, you chimed in. I didn't read your comment just yet because I wanted to get in the groove, but salute to you as well. And yeah, so look, definitely go ahead and continue to connect with me online. I got much more things that's coming up. I appreciate all my collectives, Bobby, you included, for always, support me over the years and just knowing that things are going to continue to grow as they should. I now have a studio space, workspace that I've been actually working out of. I'm getting things together slowly but surely, but this is already starting off. This year is already starting off good. But again, shout out to all the people who also will be looking at this playback. Leave a comment, share your insight, what y'all would like to know, any things that I touch bases on, because I know I'll be all over the place. Just share what you feel like in the comments that I should elaborate on, and I'll try my best to kind of like structure. And then I don't mean these videos to be 10 plus minutes, but you know what I mean? I just kind of like go into depth of when I'm activated. When my battery is charged up to talk, I don't know what's gonna come out. But salute to y'all. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. All the likes and shares, and definitely your time. Have a great Wednesday and be blessed. Peace.